hi there. Ooh, lots of hands waving. I like it. Well, here we are, almost to the halfway point of the write-a-thon, huh? How's everyone feeling, I wonder?
Ready to go to bed?
Oh my.
Surprisingly not. I had 6 hours of sleep, which to me could basically be like the same as 4 hours for anyone else. And I'm like, okay.
So luxurious, 6 hours of sleep.
I need like 8 or 9 or my body's not happy. But
Oh, Glory has a very
I'm okay.
simple
Yeah,
way
I hear
to
you.
tell how well I'm doing, and it's this. If I get anything less than 1 hour more of sleep per day than whatever she's sleeping, automatically my health's bad.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm a champion sleeper. I could have gone to the Olympics if I wanted.
Well, on that note, maybe we could do some introductions. Glory, as you're on point, would you like to start us off?
Hello. My YouTube and Twitch channels are Glory Writes the Blues. My name is Glory. And I write and I talk about writing and I enjoy it. And it's all great. So if you're into any of that, which I hope you are if you're here, stick around. Be sure to follow me and we'll have a good time.
Do you write blues?
Actually, I compose blues. If you really want to get down to it, I'm working on a chamber opera with
Even
another
better.
friend who's a composer. And I sing the blues for decades because I live in Mississippi, which, I mean, look, if you're looking to delve into the blues, well, hello there. You're in the right place in Mississippi. So it's everywhere. It's in the water. People start singing the blues just by coming down here and drinking the water, y'all.
I thought you were going to say right out of the womb. Like
I was
instead
gonna
of a baby's first cry.
You haven't
it's
heard the
like-
blues.
If you're millennial, sure, you absolutely start singing the blues right out of the womb.
I mean, you haven't heard blues till you hear a 4-year-old talking about snack time blues.
Oh, yes, that is a real thing in Mississippi.
Oh,
God.
wow.
Yes, little kids going, Mama don't understand what I need for a snack. Like, and they just keep going. They'll just go. True story.
Are they taught that in school or something? Or by
No,
like,
4 years
siblings?
old. No,
They're
that's just
hearing that music so much and they are like relating it to their own experiences. So, you know, it's all about mama not giving as many Cheez-Its or goldfish as they want. This is the blues.
I have to come down and visit y'all one day.
Absolutely. We'll take you to New Orleans and get you some beignets.
I want to go to New Orleans again so badly.
We live about 2.5 hours away from New Orleans, and it is wonderful. So just walking the streets of the French Quarter in the middle of the night is super fun and, relatively speaking, pretty darn safe. So
Okay.
I highly
I
recommend.
say,
Yeah.
that sounds terrifying.
No, it's so
No.
fun. No.
It sounds nice. I mean, I walked through Sleepy Hollow Cemetery on Halloween night during the
Right.
witching hour, and I was like, this is chill. So I don't think anything would really scare me. It's weird.
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure I can drive anywhere all that interesting in about 2.5 hours going any way. I mean, Niagara Falls, at least. You know, I
there's
can't
so many
drive.
bagel spots. If you're close to
Yes.
Niagara Falls, there's within 2 hours of drive. There's a lot of bagel places people want to go.
That's
Make
true.
a,
well
make
as
a
smoked
bagel,
meats.
a giant bagel vlog. It's like you go to like all these different bagel places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely would if I could get to Montreal. It'd just be like,
Bagel
let me
road trip
tour,
vlog.
all the like Montreal meat and bagels and
Yeah.
poutine on the side.
Yeah, I was going to say poutine. Yeah.
I love poutine, and I grew up in New York City, so bagels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, Charlie.
Charlie, I need to book a trip to Mississippi now.
No, the next
Oh,
one.
Zara, were you alone?
So first of all, like it's gated and it was during an event, so no. I mean, I wouldn't be stupid and walking around like Central Park during witching hours because that's like every news story where it's like woman murdered in Central Park during these hours, and I was like, I mean, awful, but also what was she doing there? Type of thing. So no, I wasn't alone. I was with my cousins who live in Sleepy Hollow, and they're like, "It'll be fun." And my mom's like, "Are you sure you're scared by like every like scary movie trailer that there is?" And I'm like, "But I also watch horror shows like Supernatural and Vampire Diaries and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, so like it'll be fine." And it was. So
Also, and this will be the last thing, I would just say, often the dead don't murder the living that much. I mean,
That
thankfully,
much.
I've
we have that going for us.
I've seen ghosts before, and normally I'm like, I see you. I have nothing to do with you, so please have nothing to do with me. And they normally respect that. It's like, if I'm not going to bother you, you're not going to bother me, which is the attitude I was told to have towards bees. And that didn't work for me. Like, I still got stung despite standing completely still.
Rude.
So when people were like, "Oh, do that with bees," I was like, "I don't believe that, but it works with me for ghosts, so I'll take that."
Well, yeah. I think I've been stung by a bee, but because I didn't know it was there, and I was maybe like it was in my shirt or something, and I was kind of like squishing it inadvertently, and then it got obviously agitated and whatnot.
Protested, yeah.
But I think Portia, you could go next with the introduction. Your introduction, I mean.
Hey everybody, I am Portia Simmons. My YouTube name is the same because I'm creative like that.
You're here.
I have a bunch of stuff going on. Sponsor me, Smart Water. I have a bunch of things going on. I have a poetry reading I am hosting a week from now on the 30th. All of the links are in my link tree. So I think my channel is linked below, and then you can find the link tree that has all of the things. So come read and or listen to poetry and subscribe to my newsletter, Chronically Portia, on Substack. And that is Portia.substack because, well, my name is spelled weird because I was born in the 80s. Moving forward.
Oh, preach it.
Oh my.
Is it me? Or are we going to Alexandria?
Yeah, sure. Zara, you can go next.
Okay. My name is Zara Hoffman. I'm a self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy, and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. I'm an author tuber who mainly just uses her channel for sprints. I am the co-host and co-creator of the Writish podcast, and on this coming Saturday, so on the 30th, on my YouTube channel, Kelly Wright, who is the other co-creator and co-host of Writish, we are going to be critiquing book descriptions. So that is linked in the description down below. Thanks to Michael. And yeah, that's mainly what I do.
Awesome.
Well, hi, I'm Tom. I am mostly seen with, my sister Glory. Usually on the Monday shows, and then, Wednesdays as we work on describing and titling next Monday show, showing people how we do it and having fun. Other than that, I occasionally write. I'm currently working on a demi-romance story, and just trying to get inspired to write it. I've been in such a grumpy mood the past couple weeks. It's hard to write, fun, sweet romance.
I hear you.
I don't want to torture my characters more than they already are.
Right. I hear you.
Hi, I'm Alexandria. I sometimes vlog, I sometimes co-host, and I'm very behind in my nano project. So that's what I'm working on.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's the time of the month, right? The time of the camp month, right? I mean, if you're still on track, like on the 23rd of the month, you're doing pretty good, right? Camp wise or nano wise, if it's a November. Awesome. Yay. And hi, I'm Michael, the creator of Writertown Junction 24 Hours. I was actually just mentioning this backstage. For me so far, it's been going pretty good. I can't complain, about how the write-a-thon's been running. I haven't been getting in really any notable writing or productivity stuff like that, but I've at least been doing the quite surprising amount of work just for like sort of behind the scenes running the write-a-thon and making sure that it goes smoothly and that it goes nice and smoothly for everyone involved also, and little things coming up now and then. But yeah, haven't been so productive, haven't been so writerly or anything. But other than that, certainly can't complain. I'm definitely having a lot of fun too. I also had to do my chores today, my normal Saturday chores today, so that didn't help. That quite took a lot of my time in the afternoon. But yeah, can't complain for sure.
I'm pretty sure I did laundry for all of Nia's stream.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. But actually, with how it's, the saloon and everything, I thought I'd get myself a actually totally standard ginger ale soda at Canada Dry, actually.
I was going to say, you live there, though. Is it just called dry ginger ale?
Dry ginger ale?
Not even called dry ginger ale, it's just called dry.
For those
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just called ginger ale, but it is the go-to brand, so Canada Dry.
I was just thinking of an old movie called The Rundown with The Rock, where he goes to Brazil, and one of the people there, he's like, "Man, I love Brazil nuts." And like, "You're in Brazil. We just call them nuts here."
Yeah.
If you go to England and ask for ginger ale, though, they think you mean like an alcoholic thing. And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, you mean ginger beer? And I'm like, how is that?
Yes. How is beer the non-alcoholic and ale is the alcohol? Wait, what?
Right. Yeah. But I mean, there are non-alcoholic versions by both of those names in America. So, and I drink both of them now. So,
yeah.
Both of the non-alcoholic or the alcoholic?
I normally drink the non-alcoholic ones. If I'm going to have like a ginger cocktail, I'm getting a Moscow Mule, which is probably going to be renamed. But like,
oh yes,
we really have to rewrite all of history because I feel like that's just a bad idea.
Now I want a Moscow Mule. Thanks, Sarah.
I've had some not in copper cups. And my friend is like, it doesn't count if it's not in a copper cup. But I was like, tell that to your wallet because you're paying for this drink and I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the opening of this is now like immortalized on the internet.
ASMR.
Cheers, everyone! If you've all got each got something to drink.
I don't yet.
Anything at all?
For myself a margarita.
Cheers.
I need the other
That's how
half.
you get work done.
Wine bottle.
To getting work done. Amen.
Shall we get into the comments? I know I've been neglecting them.
Oh yeah, they've been having fun.
A lot so far. I'm sorry.
At least we're not roasting you like Anne was in the opening ceremony.
Oh my, totally. Barrett, it's way past my bedtime, so I'm going to park the struggle bus for the evening and catch up with you all tomorrow. Oh, have fun at the Saloon Writers. Don't forget that like button. Thank you, Barrett. You're the bestest. And Charlie's here. Hi. I'll try and make a good time here, Gwenna the winner. Hi. The coffee life. Hi. And Lauren's here. Hi. Stopping in to say hi about to do some sprints on my channel. Happy writing. Ooh, thank you. Savian's here. Hi. Cookie King here for just a few minutes. Cookie King or maybe Cookie Monster even. I don't know. Hi, Caitlin.
What are you making?
And, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do let us know if you like, if you're around right now. And Jordan's here. Hi. And we've got a double here, a double Tom. And Nia's here. Hi. Cool Gamer. Hi.
Hello.
And Morgan. And Eva. Hi. Nia, I'm feeling good. Ooh, good to hear it. Good to hear it. I was enjoying some really crunchy potato chips during your stream earlier, Nia. I think you know that already. And the coffee life. Hi. Charlie. Book Mouse X. Hi. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, okay. So we've kind of come across this already, huh?
Jordan wanted to know why we were talking about ghosts, though. So it's because Glory mentioned New Orleans and walking through the French Quarter alone, or like not alone, but like at night,
like in the middle.
And
because like I don't go to the French Quarter till after 3 a.m. That's when it gets fun. In part because I don't care for a lot of people there. I like to be there when there's not that many people.
And then I had said that I went to Sleepy Hollow Cemetery on Halloween during like the witching hours of like midnight to 3 a.m. So we were talking about ghosts and things like that.
And also you just have to like kind of trust your EBGB antenna,
Yeah, I was gonna
trust
say
your senses. Like if it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel safe, or it feels weird or whatever.
Well,
then you just
normally
have to
I feel
trust
really chill, but I was streaming Autumn Ashley had organized, I think it was also 24-hour write-a-thon, and I was hosting my own, but when this happened, I was a guest on hers, I think, or Sarah Sutton's or something, and my TV there turned on by itself and started playing Silence of the Lambs, which is in my iTunes movie, like, library. I almost said database library, but like I really only watch Netflix through the Netflix app on there. So the fact that it went to a different app and started playing that, I was like, off.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. That wasn't fun. But Riley, my dog, was here and she was like completely passed out. And I was like, either that means it was non-malevolent or she doesn't care if I get like
she cares about you.
I think she cares more about my mom.
Look, but you are still the deliverer of treats and snuggles, so
I give her snuggles. I'm pretty militant about not giving her treats unless she actually earns one. So I think she like has a grudge against me and was okay with me like getting.
My mother was very similar, as you know. Your mother, my mother, very, very similar. And especially with my dog. Both my mom and the dog have since passed away. But I will say when mom passed away, I swear Cassie, my miniature dachshund, truly grieved the loss of my mother. And I know it's because my mother used to make her dinner plates the size of her own dinner plates. And I'm like, a 10-pound dachshund does not need a dinner plate for a 90-pound woman. These are not equal.
Okay, my mom isn't like that. Yeah.
She's like, but baby hungry. And I'm like, Mom. Look, y'all, it was like the last 18 months of my mother's life. What am I supposed to say? Stop feeding the dog. Stop.
Yes, you're making the dog obese, which makes the dog unhealthy. The dog is not a good dog owning.
Dog gained 10 pounds. We spent the next 3 years trying to get it. We got at least 5 pounds off of her. But yes, it was. But that's how dachshunds want to be. They want to be sausages, just a tube of dog.
They want to look like a corgi.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, with like little feet.
They want to look kind of like you used to see the classic pictures from over 100 years ago of dachshunds, where they had these little faces but big bodies. They still want to achieve that status one way or another.
That just seems so cruel. If you have to carry that much weight around on such a tiny frame,
They just don't see it like that. I don't.
Well,
obviously.
That's why you name it.
I think I know what Tom's talking about, like the old drawings.
Right? Yeah, there would be this like, why did they draw the dachshund that way? That's weird.
And dachshunds still think that's their ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Gwenna, I just got back from Savannah, Georgia, this past weekend. And every time we go, we bring back some kind of nonsense, creepy spirit. It woke me up around 1 a.m. last night, breathing over me. Need some sage.
Are
Ooh.
are you going to like plantations or like?
It's just Savannah, Georgia.
No, it's just all of Savannah. Like, if you've been there, then you know, like, the people, when they die there, they don't leave there,
I
okay?
mean, okay, here's the thing is that if it's south of the Mason-Dixon line and it's not somewhere that I've already been, like Universal, Disney World, New Orleans, that's about all I can say. I'm not going below the Mason-Dixon
Well, just
line.
like if you just
Like,
you
yeah,
know,
like think of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Yeah.
That is straight up, that is Savannah flavor text right there. Portia, have you been? Do you know of which I preach? Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I got her. Yep.
I like to go. I like to take my flies for walks. Oh,
Yeah. Like,
does he
I'm
really
sorry, what?
have a vial of tetrodotoxin? We don't want to find out.
Right? Yeah. These are real people, y'all. They just showed up in the movie and everyone thought they were fiction. No, they're real and they still walk the streets of Savannah, okay?
Well, I know
Yeah,
where I've
those
never
were
visited.
actors.
They often hired the people, portrayed themselves, and they got paid for it. So now they're professional characters that walk the streets of Savannah. These are real, okay?
It's a
Like if
different
you
movie
made-
when
And
you
this is
find
where
out
our
behind
common
the
minds
scenes.
fiction comes from, is like the deep south. This sort of, people are larger than life.
Charlie, I am a big believer that any sixth sense that I may have, gets blocked out by my neighbor's loud music. That took a turn.
There are vibrations, but it wouldn't completely block it out, says someone who listens to her music very loud.
Hi, Stephanie. Let me see here. Gwynnett, no, we live with the in-laws and got to be respectful of...
Abuelita.
Okay.
Spanish for grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. Being Jehovah's Witness. Monday, though, the local crystal shop will be open, and I will be waiting for her to unlock that door. Oh, my.
You could also get some witches' bells for your own place when you...
Also, I will, look, I'll just tell you this. You just put salt in little mason jars and you just put them in places.
Or baby food jars if you got them.
Yeah, baby food jars,
Right.
the little mason jars. People will think you're just trying to be decorative, but they work effectively, especially with malevolence. So I'm just
You should do it in the four corners of a room. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh yeah.
like
a witch.
It's fun though to watch people like when they find them because they totally have
Windows.
no idea. Like, oh, I think you lost track of one of your salt jars. I'm like, oh, thank you. Where was it? Okay.
And wait till they leave to go put it back. Anyway. Yes, I moved into one house and it had all these little containers of salt everywhere. I was young. I was 21 and I did not know what I was about to get my butt into.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly
It's the
has a
house that
similar
we have
thing.
the famous line about of, quote, why is the power strung up in a pentagram?
In this house, we were redoing the wiring because it was so bad. And they had run DC wiring. This is how old this house was. It was old. It's from the 1880s. And they did it in a pentagram through the
Did
whole
you say
house.
1880s?
In the 1880s. Yeah, I mean, Mississippi's old. And
Okay.
yeah, like, and I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, that's so strange. And then, it wasn't a year later. I was like, I wish we had put it back.
So how long did you stay in that house?
It was about
8 years?
8
7?
or 9 years. Yeah.
Were you like over a hellmouth or like the crossing of some ley lines, and that's why
Yeah.
they had
It
the
was the ley
pentagram
lines.
to protect, and
In,
then you
in
didn't.
reality, so what it was it was actually ley lines. And
Those will get you.
and I was at the time married to somebody who projected his feelings.
Boo.
And
Everything I
so-
hear about your ex, I'm like, boo.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
I just pet my heart every time you do that.
He
Yes.
managed to create what is that poltergeist from
Electrical ball?
Huh?
An electrical ball?
No,
of
but I mean
fire?
he managed to pretty much create, through his just like he stared at this one corner in the bedroom and created his own version of Peeves the Poltergeist.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but at least Peeves was cool.
This one was not.
Yeah.
This was just
My point
how much
exactly.
he did not want to be there, but he did not say, so I did not know he wanted out of the marriage.
Mhm.
And yeah, it took a long time for me to figure out what was going on.
Hmm.
Because when people tell me, no, I'm happy to be here, I believe you. I don't like question, but do you really mean that? I take people at their word.
Mhm. Stephanie, I took breaks for grocery run and then board games with the kiddo just now. I did finish formatting and uploading my books, so it was successful. Yay!
Yay.
Nice.
Nice. Good for you. Good work.
Also, fun playing board games. I mean,
Yes.
it's hard to go wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Unless it's Monopoly, in which case murder might happen. And then it becomes Clue.
Yeah, and you start like bending all the rules, right?
Yeah.
And this is for you, Tom.
Yes. Tom was like, the goblin in me is curious. And I'm like, okay, wine and crystals. Okay.
What could go wrong?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure
A
they're
lot.
I'm sure they're a fun bunch.
A lot could go wrong.
And this is for you, Tom, also.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. I literally looked at because when Tom sent me, I was like, is that around here? Literally looking like, oh, they're in our town.
Yeah.
So we will have to investigate.
Charlie was struggling in the chat.
You can do it, baby. I believe
She
you.
got too excited about the idea of free wine.
Wine and crystals.
Jordan, that's the same with cider. I was so surprised cider was
When we were
non-alcoholic
talking
here.
about
Yeah.
ginger ale
Yeah.
and ginger
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't until in my mid-20s that I finally had alcoholic cider. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to remember if I've had alcoholic cider. I think maybe at Christmas, the cider that my cousin makes had it, but like she always cooks it off so much because my cousins who are like half my age are also drinking it. So I don't know if she even puts it in at all. Because if that's not it, I've had, that's not true. I had it on a date once. That's it. I've never had it again. Not because I don't like it, just because I haven't thought about getting it again.
Okay. How to using spiked how to use alcoholic cider to improve dates?
Not what I was saying. The date was fine. The date was nice on its own without the alcoholic cider.
Okay.
Did it make it better?
Yeah.
I got very warm. Alcohol does that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have this Christmas hot cider recipe with like all sorts of cinnamon and cloves and cardamom in it and a very healthy amount of spiced rum.
Well, it's like I don't really
Butter.
I don't really get tipsy or anything.
You're like, do I need
it'll, like,
drinkable
hit me all
butter?
at once,
Yeah, you
but what
do.
I feel before then is I just get really hot and I'm like, this is why I don't like to drink that often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In my part of the world, hard like cider is a thing, and also like hard lemonade. Yeah.
I love hard lemonade.
Just hearing
I love
Sarah
that.
talk brought me
Yes.
back to when I was in the Philippines, and some Canadians moved there who were, half Filipino, half English.
Yeah.
And
I'm
since
like,
there's
how
no
does
real-
me talking remind you of this when we have a Canadian on screen and it's
Oh,
not
no.
me?
because this is specifically the part of where I just feel warm. And they complained because there's no, real restriction in the Philippines at the time on, getting alcohol, even if you're underage.
Right.
but their parents are still Canadian and very much against alcohol.
Yes.
So they would get, a fifth of vodka and put Tang in it. That classic childhood drink. And the problem they had wasn't, the vodka or anything like this stuff's delicious. It's they then have to find a way to stay away from their parents for 2 hours at least after drinking because they would stay flushed. Like one shot and they are just flushed.
Red.
And they will not.
I don't think I really look it. It's just
no,
my entire torso gets warm, and as someone who always runs cold, which is annoying on its own. But then to suddenly be so hot that I can't cool down because I drank alcohol.
We moved to the island of Mindanao. We moved to this town called Kitapawan there, and they moved right after us. So, and we were all approximately the similar ages, like our three siblings. Tom and I have a younger sister, and they're 4. We were all approximately similar ages, and I was like, why don't you just tell your parents you went running? And then they'll think, oh, that's why you're sweaty. Why don't you just jog for 5 minutes after you're ready to stop drinking? And then they won't know. And the revolution that happened in this family. It was a lot of fun. We were, the 7 of us were a dangerous combination. Corners, as well as it can be useful to put it over doorways and windows.
Yeah, you want it across any boundary.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also sometimes you can just sense a popped ley line. And you can just deal with one ley line because it'll pop over and then it doesn't, it's moving in a weird way. So.
If there's ever a section of a room where it's like, why is it really cold or really hot here?
Or why does every time I walk in that corner, my sinuses ache? Dealing with a popped ley line.
We had another house like that. And what I did was...
All of your houses been like this?
Or a lot of bad housing. A lot of bad housing. Nobody else wants to live in there, so you get it for a deal. Okay.
Yeah. and so what I did, because I got all this extra...
Get it? Perform the exorcism. Keep the nice house.
But that's just it. It's just ley lines, so there's nothing to really remove. It's just how the energy is flowing, and we've just came into a whole bunch of extra
but you can help redirect it. You can
cast iron. Yeah. We got all this cast iron pans that, from someone's grandma that they hadn't used and had just been in storage.
They were making a rust farm at that point. I mean, all of this cast iron was turning to rust. It was sad and terrible.
So I just found wherever the ley lines were coming up above the ground, where we're walking, because it was we're in the South, so it's actually an elevated house. It's about 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, it had crawl space underneath.
And I'm literally just putting face down these cast iron pans around the house. I'm just like, nope, you go back down. And you go back down over here. I'm like, oh,
highly
it's so nice here.
It made it so much more livable after that. Highly recommend.
The back bedroom was no longer, we swear, attached to the Antarctic.
Yes, it had very much why have I walked into the heart of the coldness? It was super creepy. It was like Sixth Sense, like the movie, creepy level of why did everything suddenly get cold and I feel that I'm in danger?
See, I can't watch any of those movies. It's like I'm fine with my encounters with ghosts. I wasn't a fan of, but I was okay with whatever spirit turning on my TV to turn on Silence of the Lambs, which I'd seen before and I'm not scared of because I'd read the book and whatever. But it's no, I can't watch those types of movies that are about these things going wrong.
Oh, the
horribly and awfully wrong.
Sixth Sense and Constantine are what I watch when I feel homesick. Because you get 3 little finkies running around and we're all amplifying. It is an issue. Because our parents were like, will everybody please quit having a temper tantrum and breaking glass from across the room? And it's like, whatever, I'm going to my room. It was a rough time.
We got better. It just took decades.
Yes, decades.
I'm loving this lore, though.
I I think there is somebody's working on Finklore over on World Anvil, by the way.
Oh,
If you are part of that, there is some being worked on.
Kudos to
Finklore, huh?
them, because
Yes.
I'm never gonna be doing that.
Because I know that like Eva had at one point was working on some other people.
Hi, Kira.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Lex
Hi,
asked-
Sid.
Hey, Sid.
Hey Sid.
Right under Lex asked how long the sprints are gonna be.
I'm thinking actually that we can keep it nice and sort of laid back and chatty and go for 2 20-minute sprints. Does that sound about right?
Mhm.
Um,
So we'll
and
start
yeah,
that in a
I
few
think we
minutes.
could, just about get into a first sprint at this point.
Yeah, I know. It's like we haven't even mentioned all the, the close friends we made.
Along the way in hell. What are you going with this,
The,
Dad?
the
You
spirits
know-
that attach themselves to you that
Sort
maybe I
of.
should
Oh,
be
are you talking about
concerned
Mr. Black and Mr. Brown and Mr. Cow?
Yes. And then, Loki.
Yes.
For anyone who's ever watched, what was it? Wind in the Door, Swiftly Tilting Planet,
Mm-hmm. Madeline L'Angle's Wrinkle in Time series.
Wrinkle in Time.
Wait, when you say Loki, you mean Loki?
Well, we were little kids, and these spirits would like.
No, because Kelly Wright works with Loki, and she suggested I work with Loki too, and I was like, I would, but like I already don't work with the deities who
Yeah,
came
it's
to
like,
me when I was a
no,
kid.
not
so
right
I
now,
feel
Sarah.
like a little-
Not right now. Loki likes chaos.
Yes, of
And
like
small children. Loki's actually very mothering,
yes,
caring
like so
for small
kittens,
children.
puppies as well. Any small creature.
Oh, that explains why Kelly's getting kittens now.
So
Why-
yeah,
why-
Loki is actually this wonderful spirit for children, in part because children are little chaos demons themselves anyway. But like Loki nurtures, and that's something a lot of people don't realize about Loki. Loki nurtures, and if you have nothing for Loki to nurture, suddenly nurturing things will show up at your house in your life.
But Kelly said that Loki, sorry, I almost said he, which is true sometimes, but not always.
I think
that
all
Loki's
pronouns
very-
work for Loki, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what is the
it's
pronoun for a
all
horse?
at any
Out of
time.
curiosity, what is the pure
Anyway, he said that Loki's really good for people with PTSD.
pronoun?
So Loki would be good for me to work with if I devoted any time to deity work. We've just completely hijacked Michael's Writertown Junction.
Michael is just like, well, I got this tiger by the tail. I guess I'm in it for the win.
Eva, I just wanted to say, Eva, there's not going to be any riddles tonight, actually.
Truly relaxed Saloon. You're
Oh,
just
yeah.
going to hear weird story ideas from us.
Oh, it's very interesting conversation. I'm trying my best to keep up with it while I'm also kind of looking
mean,
at the
Yeah,
chat.
the thing is Tom and I have known each other for decades now. So
Really? Would have never guessed.
And we have no
sometimes people
worries,
are surprised, Zara.
and now no one. And we don't worry about being judged by
Mm-hmm.
what we're
Yeah, we used to
thinking in
hide
our
all this.
invention.
We used to pretend that we were totally normal, straight people.
That's so boring.
Masking, it was exhausting.
Hmm.
To try to be, hello, normal person. I'm totally fine. Hello. Lovely to be. Yeah, it was exhausting.
Yeah.
I see. Is that kitty ear? Yes, it is.
Oh.
I love
Hi there.
tabbies. That looks like a mackerel tabby.
Yep.
I have a weakness for mackerel tabbies.
This is Percy.
Hello, sweet baby.
Hi, Percy.
No,
Cat butt.
he's leaving now.
Who is interested in cat butt? We have cat butt.
Maybe a
Yeah,
little
he's gone.
camera shy, possibly.
He was
Cats,
on my
if you
lap
pay
like all
attention to them, they
morning.
have to leave.
I feel
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they're always really inconvenient. It's like they want your attention when you need to focus on something else, and then the moment you give it to them, they're like, "I'm done." It's like,
Yeah,
Your
It's
time is
complicated.
nuts.
it's complicated, right?
It is.
Yeah, so why don't we get into a first sprint then? How's that sound?
40 minutes in, and now we sprint.
Alexandra, what are you saying?
We had to get through the
What are you saying?
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do that then. I've got my timer up. I just need to share it. So 20 minutes, 20-minute sprints, huh?
We could do it. Fit it in around the flavor text. It'll be fine.
We can do it. I concur. Yeah, totally. Good luck, everyone. And yay, that's the end of our first sprint. Excuse me. So, before we go any further, I'd like to just say there's been a development actually with the writeathon. So, Shay was actually supposed to stream in the next block, starting at midnight Eastern time. But the thing is, she's actually got some pretty serious tornado warnings going on
Ooh.
right now.
Oh no.
She lives in Oklahoma, and she was. I was corresponding with her over like the last little while here, and she brought me up to date that the sirens, which are still going on right now, aren't due to go off until something like about an hour into what would be her stream, so something like 1 a.m. Eastern. So, of course, I just let her know that I wanted her to think about her well-being first and foremost, and not to worry about some silly old write-a-thon at all. Yeah, we've just corresponded in that sprint. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream myself up until the end of her block, so up till the beginning of Anne's. And that should be, that'll be the 2 a.m. mark, Eastern time. But I do know totally that my lovely co-hosts have only signed on to be, on till midnight, to the midnight mark. So by all means, feel free to, drop out as we get to that time. And I can totally stream by myself for the upcoming sort of time slot. And in that time slot, for sure, we'll also do sort of like longer sprints and whatnot, just so that people can also get in some good productivity, some good writing. But these things happen, and apparently, as you run a write-a-thon, you find out, I suppose, huh? But does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
And again, by all means, do feel free to pop out at the basically the 2-hour mark for the stream. But yeah, I thought I'd let you all know.
I wish I could stay, but I'm streaming at 9 a.m. on my own channel apart from this whole thing, and I really don't think anyone wants to see me have like 2 nights of not enough sleep in a row.
I hear you for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was planning to stay up anyway, so I can be here.
Oh, well, no pressure or anything.
Yeah,
Indeed.
we're literally, what Tom and I were doing during the sprint was making dinner. Which,
what's I'm curious.
Actually, I just made during the sprint an infographic of the dinner. If anyone's interested, it's on Instagram.
Oh,
and also in our Discord server. If anybody needs an invite link to the Discord server, let me know. But it's a barbecue chicken bowl. It starts with a layer of coconut lime rice that I made right before we started streaming, actually, because we have a lovely rice cooker. Bless the rice cooker. And then we used our pressure cooker for the chicken, because all we have is frozen chicken, and it's like that I want it to. And braised with barbecue sauce. And then I think Tom was saying that he had an idea to take it out a little early and put it in the air fryer to crisp up the chicken drumstick,
Which
And then-
channel in the Discord have a lot of food related ones?
Center, what is it? The food recipe experiments, I think, is the one that I put it under. If I post about food,
So
it'll
it cuts it off. It says BBQ chicken
Uh-huh.
bowl, and that's only because it's on my phone, not because the actual image.
Oh,
But the rest of it is there. And then, like Lori said, it's on her Instagram.
yeah, I did. I made an Instagram post version for anybody who's
Well-
like, "Hey, just looking for inspiration for you," because you could presumably just use like rotisserie chicken and put barbecue sauce on it.
You're so funny. Sour cream, optional, but not really optional.
I mean, look, you know, my mother, the like, my mom's family's from Ukraine. Sour cream is optional, but it's not optional, y'all. But yeah, it's optional.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah, and I'll definitely check it
if you're
out on
looking for
Instagram. and
inspiration,
Discord.
just throwing that out there. We're just using frozen broccoli and steaming it in the microwave. You know, no big whoop. No big whoop. It just, you throw the bag in and it steams in its bag. You know, 5 minutes, 6 minutes in the microwave. It's done.
It's been years actually since I've heard that expression, no big whoop.
I don't know if you know this, Michael, but I may be an elder millennial. We started with these old timey phrases. They're vintage now.
I love it.
Oh, God.
No big whoop.
But yeah, just a little something there. That's what we're actually right after the, you know, presumably after the stream ends. That's what we're gonna have dinner, a late dinner.
Oh,
Because normally
Tom's,
Friday and Saturday nights, this is our Tom and
Tom's-
my time together,
Tom's taking his glasses off.
right?
You know, it's getting late.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
If it's getting late, that's probably when Riley, my dog, but who lives with my mom ever since I moved out, is starting to like grab her squeaky toy and be like, "Let's play." And my mom's like, "No, just because you nap the entire day does not mean that we play when it's time to for the human to go to bed."
Oh, it's gladiatorial, you know, display time.
Yeah.
Yes, and where the zoomies,
Yeah.
middle of the night zoomies start.
Yeah. But she likes to sleep on my mom's bed. So once she realizes that like my mom is actually going to bed, she's like, "Oh, I don't want to be like left out in the living room section," because there are like doors that divide the apartment between like the bedrooms and like the living room. So Riley like used to not pay attention and then would scratch at the door until my mom let her in. But then my mom got so annoyed with her that my mom actually started like being stricter about it, of not letting her in once the door was closed. So she learned really quickly. She's like, "Oh, I'll try every time to make it work. But when it doesn't, I need to rein it in because I'd rather sleep on mom's bed rather than have a door between us all night."
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what it's like with toddlers.
Look at this here, Natalie. Well, I just spent that time doing a typing test. I can type 71 words per minute with a few typos. That's really
Quite good.
That's really fast, actually.
Very fast.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm lucky to truck at 35 to 40 words a minute.
When
That's
I take
even
a typing test, it's always such a bad measure of me like writing though, because I'm thinking through the words as I'm writing them versus a typing test. It's in front of me. So obviously I'm just typing what's in front of me. So it's like my test can say that I think it said that I could like type 90 words a minute or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that never happens with my novel writing.
You can type 90 words per minute?
My grandma taught me how to touch type when I was like 5. And my mom wouldn't buy me computer games, but she bought me like all the typing games.
Mavis.
Is that what they
It's
do?
not
like,
a game, I swear.
Well, no, I mean there was Mavis, but then there was another one that was like newer or whatever. So I used to do that like
I mean, there's
On the
also
weekend.
typing of the dead.
what's
That's right.
the-
Survival horror type for typists.
That
I
is
didn't
a
do
real
that.
game, y'all.
I
Yeah.
didn't do that.
Where you're trying to type to get your little person away from the little tiny zombies that are chasing them, and it's
You
like,
shoot them by
"Ah,
typing their names and typing the words.
I can picture the robot that had this.
And there's a new version of that game I saw recently. Someone else did another survival game where you're typing.
Start typing. That's what it was called.
What's the form of typing they employ, like in court?
Stenography.
The stenographers? Yeah, that's a very different.
My grandma had a book on she used to be a secretary. She was born in 1918, my grandma. And so she had a book of like all the shorthand that she had to learn. And like she taught me cursive. She taught me multiplication. She taught me division, like all these things, touch typing. And I drew the line at that. I was like, I'm never going to learn this. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But like, at what point in my life is this going to become relevant? But she taught me touch typing because she was like, this is how I had to learn. So by the time I started learning it in school, I was so much better than everyone. My mom can type even faster than me.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what we grew up with. So we have to actually, if we pause whatever someone says, what their words per minute is, it's because we're having to translate in our head. Wait, what do regular people type at?
What is normal typing speed? Because our mom, what was mom's top speed? Was like, what, 160 words a minute?
Yeah.
It was like insane. It was like, that's not a real person, and that's how we know you're a robot.
Yeah, I definitely can't do that. I think I can do like,
but that was
90,
like her
92.
Yeah, it was her full all-out breakneck speed. She normally
don't worry about typos. Type.
Yeah, she normally did not type that fast, even at work. And she was like, most of her career was.
Okay, I'm talking about 90 words without any errors. 90 words a minute.
That when they're telling you what your typing speed, they subtract your errors from your number.
Yeah.
So 160 words a minute, it's with errors, but those are subtracted from her breakneck speed. And that's her final speed record was 160 words a minute after removing all errors from her.
Although, and what I really hear that whenever people talk about the typing speed is like, that's the coordination. That is how much coordination your hands have.
Well, now I want to get my mom to do one, but my mom also plays piano and guitar and stuff. So she has very good coordination, which is hilarious because she'd be like, I have terrible hand-eye coordination. It's why I can't dance. And I'm like, you have better hand-eye coordination than I do because you can play piano and instruments easier than I can. Just because I make dance look easy doesn't mean it is easy for me.
Once those muscles learn the memory of how to do it, though.
Yeah. So anyway, though, but like she has
long fingers. A
so
puppy would say, Tom. Sorry. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Zara. I figured you just keep talking over me. I apologize.
It's okay. I did. You know me. We're good.
It's like, honey, we just fall into it like cousins. Portia tried to be all polite and everything. Like, I'll just type it.
Aha,
you were.
I know. It's like, I've got to get her to unmute. I need the cackling. It gives me life.
There we go.
Yeah.
Someone commented on the fact that I was giggling on like Barrett's stream earlier, and it's like, you can't tell me that like I put my hair in front of my face or that like I giggle or something while it's like still on stream. Like I'll get embarrassed and do everything I can.
Even more.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I missed that comment. I was probably like doing chores or something.
It's okay. But I don't even know what I was giggling. I don't even know what I was giggling about. But then later, I was watching because today's the 1 year anniversary of Shadow and Bone season 1 dropping on Netflix. So they released all this extra like behind the scenes like funny things with the cast or whatever. And the main actor, I never know whether to say actor or actress because the person is not gender non-conforming. But they were giggling, they were giggling in all these things. And I was like, is that what I look like on stream earlier? Like, I don't know.
Has it been a year already?
Yeah.
Since that was launched?
April 23rd, 2021.
Time flies, huh?
I know.
I remember Nia talking about the the show launching like it was yesterday.
Nia and I talk about it a lot when we're on a stream together.
Is it like the keystone of your friendship?
I think the main keystone of our friendship is when I like randomly messaged Nia out of the blue, I think through Discord or something, and was like, "Hey, you want to hop on a stream with me?" And she's like, "Excuse me?" And I was like, "You can say no." And that was like the first time she was ever on a live stream. But yeah, I guess that's another one.
Eva, sometimes coming up with the words isn't so easy as copying words, but when I'm in the groove, it is quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one of the things I realized when I was working on the story is I can write a scene pretty easily, but there's a different part of my brain for writing scenes than plotting and, what comes next in the story. So I have to do them whenever my brain's in that mode.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
the latter does sound like just denser writing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I had to first go plot out the whole story because it's like, yeah, I could do these scenes, but what do I want to do next?
Mm-hmm.
I just write to essentially what do you call them? Writing prompts of like, I know how I want this scene to contain or how to end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a lot of typers here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Portia herself. I type really fast when my arthritis is in check. I topped out at 118 words per minute.
I mean, that's excellent with or without arthritis.
I don't know what that would feel like even.
In
I think
general,
arthritis
or saying with arthritis?
No, like just in general.
Just moving that fast.
Yeah.
What is it like flying on keyboards?
Yeah.
Let's say when
Tell us, mere mortals.
When you see a pianist, going across the piano, playing Bach, kind of like that.
Ugh, my mom again.
I can't keep a straight face, Tom. I'm sorry. Every time we talk and I look down, I can't.
You're reminded.
I love a labradoodle.
Can you change the breed, or is it just the one?
I think he's got another picture. Yeah, there we go.
But most people can't handle these eyes.
Yeah, the eyebrows. This one has such expressive
I love
eyebrows.
that. I almost like this one more.
Okay, show him the panda.
Oh, the panda I love, but that's because I'm biased towards panda.
Yeah, who doesn't love a panda, right? Like, and after we saw Turning Red, it was like, can you find a red panda?
Maybe
Red
we could
pandas are
even.
adorable.
Nope.
That's not a panda.
Take your glasses back off. Why'd you put your glasses on? There we go.
Looking for something.
There we go.
Oh, you're so cute.
I know. Is it adorable? It's like, well, yes, of course, we have trained a golden retriever to sit in front of a camera.
Oh, okay. So do you all remember the "I'm here, Your Honor, I'm not a cat"?
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
So I recently saw on Twitter that someone was in, virtual court, and their cat walked by, and the cat was entered into the court record as the person's assistant, like legal assistant or something.
Oh.
In the chat we're talking about when their cats had done the same thing, and someone had been told like, don't double bill because of your assistant, and then someone else was like, pay your interns though, and it was just like, why is it that we've almost come full circle?
Yes. Did you ever see that drawing of like in reference to the original "Your Honor, I swear I'm not a cat," where it's a bunch of like little kittens on the table and underneath it, and they're like revolutionary little kittens?
No, this sounds amazing.
Oh my God, it is the cutest dang thing. I will have to send it to you. But yeah, like essentially, the comic is implying that the cats kidnapped the lawyer and have him tied up underneath the table.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic. Of like, yes, of course, a cat would say that of Your Honor, I swear I'm not a cat. I'm a real human. Like, why would you say it that way?
Well, okay. In one of the behind the scenes that they released today was the Shadow and Bone cast like reading fan tweets about their different characters. And one of them was basically like, the Darkling did nothing wrong except he's fictional. And Ben Barnes, who plays him, was like, well, I'm not fictional. I'm here. So, like, we're all cool. And then the people who play the heroes are like, Victor Dipper, he's done a lot of bad things. And then he, so they say, like, has done nothing wrong. Then they're like, beg to get different. He's like, but, like, I'm not fictional and I'm here. So, like, we're cool, right? And then the other one is like, but you're not a psychopath, right? And it's like, imagine if a psychopath was like, yes. Because, like, either way, you could see a psychopath going either way. But if they say no, you would be like, that's what a psychopath would say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh, my. Yeah.
Exactly what. By the way, if you've ever wanted more cat content, there is a movie called Seven Psychopaths starring Christopher Walken. There was a special feature, and I believe somebody has uploaded to YouTube called Seven Psycho Cats. They put it as a special feature on the DVD to Seven Psychopaths. And it is all kittens doing the audio, and it will murder you. It's so fantastic.
Especially
that's funny.
Especially the cat they chose, both for Christopher Walken and I can't remember the name of the actress who was it Precious?
Yeah, like what was her name? Gabba Bray, or what is her name?
Gabba Sidibe.
Thank you. It's like terrible with names on a good day. Yeah.
And like I can picture her, but I don't think I ever learned how to say her name.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to
say it out loud
here.
But yeah, like
that's definitely a mouthful.
The kitten that plays Christopher Walken and the kitten that plays her character. Oh, highly recommend. It's the best 7 minutes of your life to spend on YouTube watching Seven Psycho Cats.
I like that name. I'm always down for a good pun, for sure.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Yes, me too.
Looks like we've got lots of love for Portia's laugh.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Huge fan.
I like when people cackle.
Mm-hmm. That's how you know.
Like, that's my favorite type of laugh.
Because a cackle is a giggle with seniority.
Yeah, there we go. Like, it is honestly a giggle. A cackle is a giggle that's up to no good. I love it.
Wait, put one or both of those like on a t-shirt or a mug or something. Some type of merch so I can wear that.
Yes.
You're both cackling.
I'm always full of cash.
I like this comment here. Eva, I heard Nia's voice when Zara said, Nia said, excuse me?
It's because we hang around enough that my brain was like, yeah, this is what she sounded like.
It's like when I imitate Grayson, imitating me when I say, unfortunately.
Yes.
Totally.
Cats are psycho, I believe it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we could get in a second 20-minute sprint before we get to midnight Eastern. Sounds like a plan. We have 34 minutes before midnight.
Yeah.
By the way, I found the picture and I uploaded to Instagram to our little group, so everybody can enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
The kittens. The revolutionary kitten.
I'm heading to my Instagram right now as soon as...
oh my God, that's so cute.
It just murders me. I love it.
Am I not sharing my timer?
No, you're not sharing the timer currently.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. My bad.
This is so funny.
Okie dokie. Good luck, everyone. 20 minutes. Yay.
Yay.
Yay, Alexandria. Don't start with me. Don't pull an N.
Yay.
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 Yay. Michael, I am here with you for the next 2 hours. I can keep going.
Yea, that I do not feel the excitement of this channel. Let us all enjoy and be productive in the further writings. That's all I'm hearing this yay.
We're just going to hear it echoing inside our skulls, even if and when we go to sleep.
Tom, you're showing your Episcopalian roots.
Yay.
Yay.
And yay, that's the end of our second of two 20-minute sprints. Did you notice I got that yay in there?
Yay, yay.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? That's better.
Should I post to the Instagram group as well?
Yeah.
The drumsticks,
Yes.
or is that just
Oh.
cruelty?
Be a little cruel.
I say go for it.
Embrace your sadist.
That is true.
That's what I always am.
Sadistic little puppy.
Not the words I thought I'd ever hear in a sentence.
Mhm.
You haven't raised a lot of puppies then.
There we go.
They like to pull on things that they shouldn't.
Oh, look at that! Those gorgeous drumsticks.
I call my dog. I called Riley as a puppy naughty, and she's manipulative, but I don't call her.
Oh no, there's some mean little puppies who are like, let's see what happens now. How much can I pull on mom's ears till she gets upset?
You know, Riley didn't do that. Like we taught her pretty.
I know
quickly.
Riley's sweet.
In her own way. My mom and I had to fill out a form, and it was like, what are her character traits? And it was like, is she affectionate? And I was like, eh. And my mom was like, Zara. And I was like, she can be affectionate, but are you going to tell me that you would call her affectionate as like the first thing when she really acts like a cat and like only bestowing her affection when she wants to? Like, she's not affectionate. She can be affectionate.
So what would be the one word that would come to the top of your mind to describe her?
Diva. Like, I love her, but she is such a diva.
Yeah.
I see.
She knows how to control attention of everyone in the room. And then most of the time she's just sitting just off camera like do nothing matters. Very much a cat.
Yeah, as per the words per minute discussion, I'd say just years and years ago when I was a teenager, I could type about
Tell me about before the internet.
about 45 words per minute, but that would be like without making like any more mistakes than like at a slower pace. So I'd say like at the most at one time 45 words per minute, but with like the accuracy still.
What's like normal? Because like we were saying earlier, that like
average the average for regular people, what is expected after training is between 30 to 42 words per minute.
Mm-hmm.
That is considered standard expectations. Most secretaries with practice will type around 40 to 45 words per minute.
So I'm double that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I'm incredibly average.
You would be in about the top 2 to 3% of the typing pool back in the 60s to 70s.
Oh, well, I'm glad I don't live then.
But what they were typing on in those days, is really different from what we're typing on
I've
nowadays,
typed
right?
on those things.
Well, an electric, like a Selectrix, an IBM Selectrix, were really a joy to type on, versus a manual typewriter. Yes, that did require a lot more down push in order
like
to
a
manual
dedicated
typewriters,
action.
You usually won't see more than 30 words per minute, just because of having to allow time for the spring to return the key after you press it. So
My mom had an electric typewriter that like she had in the closet for a very long time, so I played around with that. Like after I already knew how to type on a modern computer keyboard and all those things. But then I also have a manual typewriter, but I don't have ribbons for it. And the place I was gonna go to get ribbons for it got flooded during Hurricane Sandy, and I just never got around to actually getting
Oh.
ribbons for it, which is fine because I use Scrivener, so it's not like I'm actually going to use it to write anything important. Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, bless you.
Excuse me. It is always pollen season in the spring here. And the AC is blowing, so the pollen, even at night.
But I mean, yeah, Eva, I like how far we've gotten with modern dictation. You don't have to train it nearly as much. It does help, though, to learn kind of what they're expecting. Like, what type of pronunciation style, because most dictation software is written in the US, and so it's trained on Midwestern speech patterns.
Right. I feel like it's kind of like it or not, sort of like a thing for the future, like dictation. Like I just feel like we're all going down that path sooner or later. I don't know. I could be wrong. I hope I am.
I feel like you're right, but my brain doesn't work like that. So my moment of silence was like existential panic.
Well, dictation is it's kind of like when people talked about, oh, no one's going to write with a pencil anymore. Once we have pens, and then once we have keyboards, why would anyone write with a pen? But we see it actually, your brain works differently depending on the medium. So, like, some people really cannot think about their stories and be creative while they're speaking at the same time.
Right. Yeah. I'll raise my hand to that too, But I'm even thinking about like the development of AI and how that could be like used to like really fine tune dictation. Like basically like if there's an AI that's listening to you and then it kind of knows what you want and you just have to kind of just try your best and whatnot, and it'll just sort of like get to the point maybe where it's like 99.9% accurate or something, just because it's an actual AI and it kind of knows what you want to get down on the page like a person would, right?
Yeah, especially if you're speaking in English, it's happening.
If dictation ever gets my name correct, I will be so shocked. Because if you say my name, it thinks you're saying Sarah. And if you say like Zara, which is how a lot of people assume that you spell how you pronounce my name, it adds an H at the end, which is still wrong. So I'm like, dictation doesn't like my name.
So have you ever seen it right? Like show up right?
No, my mom tries it all the time because she uses voice to text like on iPhone. I turned it off because my thumb kept accidentally hitting the microphone and I kept getting pissed off. So I turned it off on my phone, but she'll hit the microphone like and narrate her message and then it types it out and it never gets my name correct.
All right.
And she's like, I say this name all the time. What do you think is happening? I was like,
You would have to put in, I only learned about this feature on iPhones because of the malicious fun you can have with your parents.
Oh God.
Which is you change their dictionary. So like if they're one of those people who chronically abuse LOL, you can have it whenever it sees LOL, it will automatically put in, stop talking to me.
Or whatever else you want.
So you can actually have it so that if it spells it with an H, it automatically corrects it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of that.
Oh, so you mean like autocorrect?
So
through the keyboard instead of through the dictation settings.
Well, the dictation uses some of the keyboard settings.
Like for iPhone.
Yeah.
I told it. Alexa just wouldn't let me. It was like It was like, here are the ways you can do it. There's this way, or another way. And every time I tried to be like, here's my way, it like rejected it, and I was like, oh, well then.
Oh, Alexa is truly the diva of the assistant programs. Like you know
what? I'm surprised it's not activating because it's on the opposite side of the wall that my computer is on when I'm streaming.
She knows you're talking about her.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she's not acting up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite nerve-wracking, all of this AI stuff and whatnot, right? Because you never know how far it's going to go, and I don't know.
Usually
Oh.
mine is talking to me by now. We call her my girlfriend because when my husband comes in to talk to me, she'll just start talking like in the middle of our conversation. It's, oh, your girlfriend's jealous. I'm here talking to you.
I've been surprised to see where AI is actually going in the next 20 years. And it's actually helped me understand a bit better some scenes from Star Trek. If you ever watched Voyager, they talked about making holo novels and making these interactive stories that you'd go onto the holodeck with. And you'd see them trying to programming these stories, and you're like, what's going on? But I've seen now as the AIs get smarter and they train them, so like they no longer employ people to do writing up about stock changes in the stock market. They've got AI that does that automatically now. You're seeing that start to go into sports as well because we know how to
pay attention to.
Yeah, like you're always going to write the same kind of thing about different sports situations. So once it gets a sense, and so probably what you'll actually start seeing more and more is story assistive AI, where you tell it, here's the features of the characters, here is the situation they're doing, and it will give you suggestions for what it thinks this scene would play out as. And so you end up doing more editing and become more of an editor to your work. And instead of having to like just write out every scene, all these words, like, well, here's a way a situation will work out. And then you're still editing though to create, you're still making creative works, but the AIs will start assisting even more.
Yeah.
Like instead of ghostwriters, it'll be AI.
AI assistants to truly just, okay, you need this kind of scene. Well, here's one way it would play out. It's like, bad one. Try this with a nicer person. These.
Yeah, that you'll be able to like plug into the AI. Which characters are present? What kind of scene is this? Is this, or what is going to happen in it? And then the AI itself is what actually does the writing out of step by step what happens in the scene to get to the place where you as the writer have told it this is the end point of the scene. This is the resolution. This is da-da-da. They go to sleep. They run away, whatever. And it says, is it like this? And then you start tweaking it with the AI. So it's really more like you're collaborating with AI. I mean, that's where it's headed.
But the fantasy Hollywood has of, can't we just get an AI to write our stories for us? No. AI is so bad at humor and emotionality. It is truly psychopathic.
Oof. Yeah. I don't think I'm so much
great
of a fan.
for those, what is it? Those reality TV shows, Tom.
Oh, that's true.
Those are all scripted.
Yeah. Did
So
you ever
AI
watch
can
the
write
show
those.
Unscripted?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you ever watch the show Unscripted?
I honestly, after the first season of MTV, what was it? The Real House or something?
Real World.
Okay, no. So the show Unscripted, I don't remember what network it was on, was about the making of a reality TV show and like how they manipulate everything and how they provoke certain reactions and things like that. And the first season was good, and then the second season I was like, I'm out.
I actually found out a lot about reality shows after Tom auditioned for one down in New Orleans a long time ago.
What'd you audition for?
What was that one? It was when they were first starting that, when they were auditioning for the first season for what was, I think, Biggest Loser. And
yeah, their notes to Tom was that he wasn't emotional, and he didn't fly off the handle enough. You know, too sensible and even keeled.
Too calm.
Too calm.
Bad for reality TV.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel that over the last couple decades, the whole thing about reality TV has changed also, because I think it was a lot more reality TV like in the early 2000s, and then they kind
No.
of
No, honestly, I'm so sorry.
It has not been reality television since the second season of The Real World.
Yeah,
that was when they realized they had to bring in psychologists to set up situations.
right.
Not a single reality show has been authentically unscripted since the second season of MTV's, Real World. Like,
I never watched that, so I've never seen.
I watched the first season and thought, this is a nightmare. I would run screaming from having to live with these people. And I was like, no, this is what hell will look like. No, thank you. That's literally what I thought. Like, for me anyway, having to sleep in the same house with these people who will interrupt each other while they sleep in the middle of the night like monsters. Like, out of a sound sleep, will bust into their rooms and wake up, we're having a meeting downstairs. And I'm like, what is wrong with these humans? Are they human?
No.
So after that, I was like, well, this is what hell looks like. And I need to do my best to be a good person so I don't go here. That was literally what I thought the first season of Real World. The second season of Real World, they started having problems because where are you going to find new psychos? It's so hard to get them to audition and yet not set the set on fire. It's hard.
Or be in jail.
Yes, it's also very hard to keep them out of jail.
It's like you need a psycho who hasn't become a criminal.
Yeah.
So hard.
And won't become a criminal.
That is so...
Right.
While you're filming. They can become a criminal
exclusive.
after you've wrapped. You don't care.
That Venn diagram is just two circles that never touch. So
there's maybe one where the lines tangent.
But who want to be on television? No.
Yeah, no.
So that's when they started hiring writers to kind of coach them in the second season. They started coaching them about how to behave with each other, and it still wasn't quite working. So by the third season, they just had writers literally script out the whole thing,
right?
And then they were just hiring actors, and that was late 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
that's it. It's all been scripted since. All of it. None of it. It's reality, but with quotation marks. It's not really reality.
I mean, it's reality. Sorry, go ahead, Portia.
No, I was just thinking, as you're saying this, I'm thinking about because I was a Real World kid, up until Back to New York season 10. That's when I lost interest. But I'm thinking about when Steven slapped Irene, and I thought that was other stuff. I would have been yeah, that's fake. But I was that seemed really real to me when he slapped her.
But
it's not that they may not have truly rehearsed it, so the actual physical contact was a surprise. But no, it was all scripted.
If anything, they'll just tell them, no, amp it up more. Do it even crazier.
Honestly, these reality actors don't get the credit they frankly deserve. It is not easy to make it look unscripted when it is very tightly scripted, and you are faulted for ad-libbing too much.
Yeah. I definitely feel like every year reality TV gets more fake, right? Not to say that it wasn't fake or that it hasn't been fake for years and years, but I still feel like it gets more and more fake every year, right?
It's less believable
it's
every year.
becoming more obvious that it's fake.
I don't know. For me, all of the reality stuff, even in the 90s, it came off to me as so inauthentic. It's how is this person existing in the world outside of commitment or prison? I don't understand.
I mean, commitment can mean a type of prison.
Yes. But how are they not, under court orders already? How you can't get around acting this way around, pretty much people were primarily strangers before the start of the show. and they're acting so off the wall. It's like, what? Will no one get the medication? You know, that's how I always felt, even in the 90s as a kid watching these. Of like, will no one get that medication? Is this why they're doing? I used to make the craziest backstories when I would go to friends' houses. They'd be watching, you know, these reality things, and so I'd have to sit and watch. And I was like, so they're doing this show so they can get enough money to find a good therapist and a psychiatrist to prescribe things, because they know something's wrong. They just don't know what. So they will, you know, beleaguer themselves and everyone else for good ratings for this. Like, I would like make up all these backstories of like, why would a real person do this? Why would they go on television? And what, how we say in the South, shine their behinds. Why would they shine their behinds like this for the entire world to see?
Well, I used to think that like, oh, they were doing it for, you know, whatever amount of like life-changing money or fame or whatever. And then once I found out that like how scripted it was, I was like, yeah, I was never like attracted to the genre to watch it. Well, other people in my family like have like at least one guilty pleasure in that genre. And I'm like, I'm not going to shame you for watching it, but like, I'm also not going to watch it with you because there's nothing appealing to it in my mind.
If you want to get a good sense of how modern reality television is really done, I posted in our private chat a link. It's actually about how you edit, and it's the editor for Veep and Curb Your Enthusiasm. But in there, he talks about how Curb Your Enthusiasm is written, because it is actually filmed just like a reality television, of where they have scripted this out, but they're also, you know, now ad-lib this, change this around.
Right.
But here is the emotions, and here's the joke punchline we need to get to. And, you know, he talks about how they filmed
believe it for sure.
Yeah.
And since it's not actually supposed to be reality television, you know, they really talk about how it works. But I thought you might find it interesting. Also, it's some great notes about how you write comedy.
Yes.
Because, you know, for all the problems you want, you know, anyone could talk about with Curb Your Enthusiasm, they do know how to write jokes, and the same with Veep. Like, they do know what they're doing. Yeah. And, you know, he's like, here's how it is as a science. This is not an art. This is a craft.
And we're always interested in how do you write comedy? What is another person's tips for writing it? Because like, this was such a big deal to our mother growing up, when we were growing up, of that, you know, anybody, to my mother's point of view, was anybody can write sentimental slosh. Sure, you can tug on the heartstrings, but can you write comedy? Can you use comedy to bring the reader's mood back out so that they keep reading? Because when things get too emotional, readers will put the book down.
Or turn off the show or switch to something.
If it feels too much, it's too strong, they put it down. And then how do you like give that sentimentality or that emotionality without them turning it off or putting down or stop reading? And my mother's solution was levity of, you make it funny, but sometimes you need to make it funny where it doesn't seem like a joke, where it feels so relatable. So they just keep moving forward. The reader keeps moving forward. So she was always stressing to us to study the comedy of other comedy writers, of other comedians. And so that is what we do. Like, it's pretty much practically a hobby at this point. And I've joked about, it would be great to be a stand-up comedian, but then I'd have to sleep in other hotel rooms. Ugh, I hate beds. I hate beds that are not my beds. But I really do not like other beds that are not mine.
Really, huh?
Yeah, all other beds are terrible. My bed is fantastic. It is. It's taken decades to cultivate this wonderful, fantastic bed I have.
Is
feet
of memory foam.
But also springs, because anyway, there's a whole thing. It's a whole deal. But anyhow, so we're always looking at writing that comedy, because here's the thing. Comedy writers are known for being able to write really great drama and horror and thriller, suspense, espionage, but not all writers who start in the other genres are that good at writing comedy. So that was, again, why Mom was always like, you've got to learn how to write comedy because it'll teach you everything you need to know about writing so many other genres. And whatever you don't already know, you could just pick up quickly. Like, what are the monster conventions of horror, and so on.
I don't remember. I think it was a live stream, or maybe it was like some Twitter thread or something, but they were talking about like things that shouldn't be scary but are when put in the right context. And then they start going about things that are like supposed to be funny versus like scary. And the examples that were given were clowns and childhood dolls. And I was like, nope, to me, they only exist in one camp. But for some people, they can exist in both. And it was just like interesting.
For me, most piano music sounds scary unless I know it's not supposed to be.
Really?
Yes. And the way most people play piano, it sounds menacing to me unless I know the context is not supposed to be menacing. It's just, that's how they're playing it. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, like anytime I hear piano music, I'm like, oh, who's about to get murdered? Anytime. So like, how there's these wonderful like ambiance videos you can watch on YouTube or listen to.
Yeah.
And they're wonderful. I love like the ones that make taverns and it's always like crackling fire and,
So like it's not piano music.
But if it is, there'll be all these relaxing ones where they used a drone shot over Scotland. And I'm like, cool. I totally want a drone shot all over Scotland for an hour or two. And they put piano music on. I'm like, man, I'm done. That is not relaxing for me. Because the whole time I'm waiting for the drone to find the body in the woods. The whole time.
Do you feel that way about like other instruments? Like Bridgerton often has like all string covers. Then again,
Glory will show up for
maybe
cello.
recognizable.
Oh, what? Yeah, like, okay, my two weaknesses in this world, cello music and trombone music. So, why, yes, that is how Tom got me to watch Voyager. Is the start of every episode of Star Trek Voyager is trombones. I have a weakness.
Wow.
But, yeah, like, it's just piano music. And I think it's partly because in the 80s, my parents watched a ton of, like, murder mystery dramas. Okay. And they often used piano music as the menacing music right before we see the killer do the kill.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember.
So
Murder, She Wrote.
I have this association from childhood with, somebody play the piano. We about to find a body somewhere, like.
Versus like the screeching violin of Psycho.
Hey, have you ever heard a child practice the violin? That's what it all sounds like.
Yeah, I had to do that. I hate a good violin. Lovely. Anything that is less than professional, I'm like, keep it to yourself.
Yes.
I'm even thinking what's it? Unsolved Mysteries, Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Did they use the piano a lot?
They used them a bunch in the middle of the storytelling part.
Yeah.
Where they would use just a couple chords. And it's that certain, like, where you could hear the finger practically pound the ivory.
Tink, tink,
tink, tink, tink. And it was like, oh, they about to find a body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just this association. So to this day, I do not find, even though there's many a piano tune I love quite a bit of piano music, but again, it's having to tell myself no one will find anybody right now. It's okay. We're totally
like, what if it's something that is associated with something? So, like, what if you heard someone playing like Tchaikovsky, but just on the piano, or like a Broadway song just on the piano?
Then she's saying that would be just fine.
It still feels like murder.
Yeah, really?
Okay. And they're like tinkling the ivories of like when somebody plays softly, it's like, and the camera pans out. I'm like, they're about to open a closet and find somebody.
By the way, Westworld did not help with this association.
Westworld doesn't help with a lot. Let's just put it that way.
Because every time they play piano, there's
somebody's gonna die or is already dead and they don't know they're dead. It's the weirdest thing. Your brain's been
going back to AI.
Yes.
I mean, everything I heard about Laguna Beach was pretty much like just. It's surprising they did not get prosecuted for what they were doing with, kids who were, 18 to 20. But it like Laura's thing of like, you use the comedy and horror.
Mm-hmm. It makes the horror more effective.
No thanks.
Yeah, totally.
I'll take ineffective horror if it means that I can keep my comedy separate.
And I love comedy horror films so much.
Like what?
So there's one that like my current new favorite is the movie called Final Girls.
Oh, I've heard about that. I want to see it, but I know I'm
So
too scared to see it.
Freaking good.
Oh, it's not that scary at all.
It's really
Says you.
but
No, I mean like they really don't have those type. They're not doing jump scare types. They're not.
Okay, if they don't do
They
jump
are-
scares, then
they
maybe
are-
I could actually watch.
Yeah, it's like
it.
they're looking at it analytically, like how people who love horror talk about the story. That's what you see for most of the movie is just this.
Well, Tom, I think there's supposed to be two spots where there's a jump scare. However, they don't really do it with the music, so you don't. The jump scare doesn't feel like so that you see the characters jump because they're scared because somebody was like behind them, but the music doesn't exactly reflect it. So again, they're trying to subvert that vibe.
But like,
yeah.
I'll still jump even if there isn't a sound cue to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because of my PTSD. So like, I don't know.
But yeah, you're just
like if it's anything that's scary beyond just suspense, I'm like, I don't know if I voluntarily want to watch this.
Another one that I've recently watched that while it had some problems in it, like as far as pacing and flow and so on. What was that one with Vince Vaughn? Where
Friday.
Freaky.
That's right.
It's Freaky. Yeah, it's called Freaky. I did a reference to
Friday,
the Freaky Friday movie because he and a high school girl switch bodies.
I did see trailers for that.
So, and as I said, like, look, it's not as good as Final Girls. Final Girls is fantastic. But it still was a lot of fun to watch, and it definitely still sticks to that concept of the comedy horror that I very much enjoy.
Wasn't that movie about like 15 years ago?
No.
Freaky?
Oh,
Which one?
Freaky?
No, it just came
No,
out.
that was like recent.
I guess I'm
Like,
thinking of something
Didn't
else.
come out during the pandemic. Well, so Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday is something else. That's
a movie
when,
and a book. Well, it's multiple movies.
Yeah, there's
and a book. There was originally a book, by the way, like from the late 60s, early 70s, because my mother would get me anything she thought it would get me to read. And that was one of them was she knew that Freaky Friday, the original Disney movie with Jodie Foster, was based on a book. And she's like, look, I'll get you a copy of the movie if you read the book. Because I didn't really like to read back then, dyslexia. And so there's Freaky Friday, the original concept. Then there's the remake with Lindsay Lohan and what's her name?
Curtis.
Thank you. And then there's the horror comedy Freaky that is essentially playing with this trope of the body-mind switch. Only instead of you switching with your mom or your daughter, you're switching with some random killer.
Well, the thing is that a killer is trying to kill a victim, and then it turns out that the bodies swap, so that all of a sudden the killer is in the victim's body and is like, hey, I can use this to my advantage, whereas the would-be victim in the killer's body is trying to convince all their friends, it's like, I'm me, there's a killer in my body, we need to do something about this. But they're all like,
You got 6'6" Vince Vaughn doing his best impression of a 5'3",
high school girl.
Yeah, who's not great at school to begin with. Like, just not that much for book learning.
Not much up there.
But you know what? The actress.
He's not that.
No. The character, I mean.
But yeah, versus like the actress, bravo. She does a really good job in that movie.
Yeah. Oh my God, her like dead killer face. It is chilling. Since she's playing this killer who's just out there. It actually is a lot of fun. As I said, there are issues with it. It honestly, in my opinion, need to be workshopped slightly more as a story, just to like work out some of the bugs in it. But overall, it's still super fun to watch. It's a good time.
Freaky, huh?
It's called Freaky.
Interesting. I'll look into it.
Yeah. Well, I think that now might be a good time for me to head out.
I was gonna say
blood sugar was tanking a little while ago, which is why I was eating chocolate when we came back from Sprint.
Okay.
And so I definitely need to eat dinner.
I hear you. Totally.
I am going to say adieu. Best of luck to everybody and happy writing. Mwah, mwah. I have
Thank you.
so much fun hanging out with y'all.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you so
right.
much. Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
I'm gonna say bye too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay, Tom.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Then there were 3.
Portia, you're in Eastern time, right?
I am.
And Alexandria, you're in Central,
Yep.
right? Okay. Yeah. So I actually did notice when we hit midnight, like in the discussion, I just happened to see. I kind of, like doing that kind of stuff, making notes of that kind of things. But yeah, it's the 24th now. We're into the second half officially of the Writeathon. We're sort of burning the midnight oil, at least, in terms of Eastern time or whatever it is. Yeah. Let me actually see here. I'm sorry I haven't been keeping up so well at all with the comments, but I'll try and pick it up for sure. Laura, love the studio. How do you pronounce this word again?
Ghibli.
Ghibli?
Ghibli
Yeah,
or Ghibli? Ghibli? Studio Ghibli?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I have heard it. Yeah. Before. Ghibli. Piano music to relax to with rain sounds. Ooh. Shaun of the Dead is also great. Haven't heard of that one, I will say. Jordan, that sounds like a bad movie. I don't know why I like to watch those. Tom, bad movies are writer inspiration to a certain extent, right? Until it's just too bad, right, that you've got to give up. It's kind of the same with books too, right? Like sometimes it's like, okay, well, I know I don't like this book, but I'm intrigued as to why, and I kind of want to break apart why that is and everything. And then it gets to the point where it's just so bad where you're like, okay, this is a DNF. It's just not worth it. Like even what I find isn't going to be worth it. Yay. I love the way Gloria and Tom are still giving to us, still giving to the stream. Tom, I get lots of ideas, watching mediocre movies especially. Lex, so these sprints are going till 2 a.m. So yeah, I'm going to be going to right about 1:45 a.m. Eastern. And then from there, pretty much I'll let Author and Sophie take over at 2 o'clock at the top of the hour. Indeed. Jordan, it's still the 23rd for moi, but I was up early because of the time difference. Let's see how long I last. Ooh. This is for you, Portia. Laura, how are the poems going, Portia?
Okay. So poems are happening. So it should have been 12 of them by midnight, roughly, by my guesstimation. There are not 12 of them. 12 poems did not happen because what did happen was I had to make a run earlier to the art store, which is about an hour and a half away. I also finished a fellowship application and submitted that, worked on my newsletter, got a bunch of stuff together for the poetry reading. So work happened. A lot of work happened, just not 12 poems yet. But I got two poems done on my way back from the art supply store. And I can still get to 24 poems in the 24 hours if I really wanted to.
Right. Yeah. I know how it. I know how it goes, though. It's like you're always like I'm sort of in the same boat so far for the write-a-thon. Like
Mhm.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm happy with what I've been getting done and everything. It's just like that hasn't lined up with kind of like what I expected in
Yeah.
the first place. But oh well. Eva, I just spent hours fixing some boxes on this website just to discover the data assigned was twisted. All that time was lost. Sigh. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Laura, Menno's The Hands of Fate may be the most boring movie I've ever seen. Ooh. Supposed to be a horror. Forced myself to finish it. Not sure why. I think like it's definitely a lot more doable with a movie than with a book, right? Just for the time commitment and the energy commitment. Um, okay, Eva, I'm going to finish fixing this and then call it a night so I can get up early and still have a brain. I hear you. Forecasted thunderstorms starting around 4 a.m. Ooh, my favorite time to write. Ooh. And this is for you, Portia.
I'm not so sure, but thank you.
Any number that you get, I think, is all good.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a number you like,
Yeah.
like maybe like 12 or 11, 15, something like that, 13.
I think
I'm
so.
being a bit silly at this point. Lex, is it weird that I want to publish my book completely anonymously? I want my writer life and my regular life separate, and I don't want readers to judge my writing because of my age, which is 17. I don't think that's weird at all. And everyone's different. I don't think that's weird at all.
No, I don't think so. What? Remember that was the subplot of that. What was it? Was it Lethal Weapon? Yeah, Lethal Weapon. When his wife had published all those books anonymously and nobody knew it was her. She was
Oh,
secretly a millionaire.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I um I saw the Lethal Weapon movies, maybe all of them even, years ago. I don't remember them. I don't remember that anyway.
Yeah, it's a random thing. Yeah.
Laura, forced myself to finish watching 2001: A Space Odyssey as well. It was okay, but pretty boring. That's supposed to be a classic and everything, though, huh? Stephanie chimes in. It's not weird. Lots of authors use pen names. Totally. Kira, I have no idea why I'm still up. Yeah, it would be pretty much daybreak for you at this point, wouldn't it be?
It's just to spend some more time with us.
Oh, well, why don't we do a sprint then at this point, huh?
Yay.
Maybe like a longer one, like a 30-minute, even.
Woo,
Just
woo,
to kind
woo.
of
I can do a poem in that time.
yeah. Let the peeps have a good chance to get in some productivity, huh?
Need a random word generator again, Portia.
That would be amazing, but no pressure. I can do it on my end.
How about the word? How about the word? Okay, how about I think of a word, and Alexandra, you think of one too. Would that work? Could we?
Yeah.
And then we could give the two of them to Portia. What about?
Hold on. Room.
Room. Okay.
I'm quite tired at this point. I'm lagging.
Me too. That's
I-
why I did that.
Yeah.
Want me to pick a different book?
What about mold?
Mold, like mold that grows? Like mold? Okay.
Well, I was thinking more like mold, like a mold
Oh,
that you could
mold.
make.
Okay. Okay.
Stuff
That's actually
in.
easier because I was like,
You know.
okay. Mold. Okay, I can do that.
But actually, the Canadian spelling for both would be the same. MOULD.
You know what?
But
I
anyway.
love the Canadian use of the U, like in color. It just makes it so much nicer. It's such a sophisticated spelling. And then you have those raunchy Americans that are just
Oh no.
MOLD.
Everyone just spells stuff differently, right? That's all.
Yeah.
So 30 minutes then? A full 30 minutes? A full half an hour?
Yep.
What am I doing here?
Crocodile and accordion? Wow.
Interesting. I think Eva's also got thunder going here.
Thunder. Okay.
You know, that's kind of like what she's thinking of right now too.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Good luck, everyone.
All right. Good luck.
Good luck, Portia.
Yeah, totally. And I'm not gonna say the Y word.
I am. Yay.
I concede defeat. I capitulate.
Yay.
Yay. That's the end of our 30-minute sprint. How'd you make out?
Portia?
I'm not finished with the poem, but I did get something down. So
Cool. Alexandria?
I talked to my husband, who is thoroughly drunk, and he doesn't drink, so he's just an absolute mess. And I switched to pen and paper.
Mm-hmm. Is he having fun in Writertown Saloon?
Yes. He had a little too much fun.
I see. Okay. I actually did pretty good. I had a snack. I had a banana. I've got a bit of milk here, actually, right now. And yeah, I did some pretty good work on a riddle, actually. I think we'll be getting in another sprint. I think I can even finish this one in this sprint, sprint coming up. Maybe, hopefully. What's your cat's name again?
This one is Sage. The other is Percy.
Right, yeah. Hi, Sage.
It's just a tiny little black cat. And she's having none of it right now. So.
Ah.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She was found in a box of car parts after it had been shipped from Japan to the US.
wow.
With her mother and a whole litter of kittens.
Oh, really? So she was found inside, like in
Mm-hmm. After they opened it up, she was in it.
Wow.
Wow.
So she's Japanese.
Yes. Technically, she's Japanese.
Yeah.
And here illegally, probably.
Probably. Yeah. And let me see here. Lex, I finished outlining a major plot point, so yay me. Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like something that reduce the stress, right? Always nice to get something figured out, right? Eva, I got the one issue fixed and found another. Oh, but it'll have to wait till morning. I'm going to crash for the night. Thanks so much for the sprints. And the entire write-a-thon. See everyone in the morning. Thank you, Eva. See you. Book Mouse, I got 420 words and hit 45,000 on my Camp Nano project. Awesome. That's really good. There's still, a good chunk of the month left even. That's awesome. And this is for you, Book Mouse. So how are you two feeling? Are you feeling tired?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alexandria, you look tired.
Yeah.
Very tired.
I'm so tired. I can't really words because usually it doesn't take me 30 minutes to get the first draft of a poem, but I'm like, I can't words.
I like that.
Instead of writing, I was just doing more research for like little bits of stuff about plants that I might or I may or may not actually use
Oh,
in this.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, one of the key reasons I always like to set like time-based goals as opposed to word ones, it's just like the research that I always find myself having to do, and a lot of times it's not a lot. It's just like 20 minutes here or there or a half an hour. But when you've got to do it, you've kind of got to do it because you're drafting along, and then you've got to do that research, that little bit of research, or you're just gonna kind of not write it right, not write it as well as you can, and you may even have to go back later, and after you kind of find out about what it is you're writing about, you might have to go back and rewrite it because you're just not happy anymore with how kind of simple it seems, and you want to go and you've learned this and that, and you want to incorporate all that. So
Yeah, usually
you
I
need
can
to do
just
it,
get
and
away with putting in like parentheses or something
yeah,
the
yeah, you can
information
do
I
that
know that
too.
I need while I'm like trying to get the words down. But this time I can't do it. It doesn't make any sense for me to do it like that.
Yeah, and a lot of times, if you haven't done the research, you don't even know what you don't know. So,
Right.
right, you've got to kind of do that research, and then you can kind of move ahead. And yeah, but you've got to do it. So, and that totally counts, right, for
Mhm.
work and energy and working on the
If
book. So that's
falling
why I like to go by time as opposed to words.
if
But
falling down the stairs counts as writing, research counts as writing.
true.
Yeah.
That's another way to put it for sure. Yeah. Stephanie, I did research and drank coffee. Ooh. So we've got some. It was a bit of a research sprint, huh? Bookmouse, what's the time there? So for me right now, for Portia and I, it's 1:12 in the morning. For Alexandra, it's an hour earlier, so 12:12 in the morning, for sure. Lex, it's just hit midnight where I live, and my energy drink is wearing off. Oh, yeah, I would even suggest switching to water, even. Yeah, well, I think we could get in another sprint, huh? We are actually scheduled to end not too long from now, like in, what is it, 32 minutes, actually. So maybe we could even do a 25. What do you think? And then kind of have a few minutes to wrap up.
Sounds good.
Yay. Sounds good.
Yay. Ooh, the yays are already starting.
Yay.
The competition. It's heating up already. Everyone's,
Portia
trying to
joined the race.
everyone's trying to play their hand just right, so they can get across the finish line in the photo finish, just getting across just ahead of everyone else. What am I even doing here? Okay.
Finding a timer.
Oh, that's better. And good luck, everyone. Yay. Oh, I did it too soon.
Where is it, Michael? You have to say yay again.
I'm gonna get beat. I know it.
Yay.
Oh man. I capitulate.
Yay.
Portia.
Hey, hey. Yay, hey. Ooh.
Yay. Wait, didn't you just say we're doing a 25?
And boo. I only say that because it's only seemingly appropriate now that Anne's here.
Wow.
Yeah, how'd you make out that time?
I wrote words that probably won't make sense in the morning, but words were written.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. I remembered that I have this big book of herbal medicine. So I was searching through that for this very specific plant and making notes about it so that I can use it in the story.
Very good.
Yay.
And that totally counts. It counts as writing, right?
Counts as writing.
I love that. I love that joke that Barrett created. Yeah, and I did okay for that sprint. I finished that riddle, and I tried to get started on like a third one, for this coming Friday stream. I might have just kind of gotten my toe in the door, so to speak, for an idea that might work for that one, or maybe not, but just a little something there for that third one. But yeah, I did okay. And Anne's here. Hi, Anne. This is for you. And Anya's here. Hi. And this is for you. Surely there's no bingo board, though, Laura, right? I mean... Oh, look at this.
Yes, it is poisonous. It's poisonous, but it also has, like, the leaves of it has medicinal goodness. So it's in the book, but it is poisonous. And apparently it can poison other plants around it through the soil, which is good to know for what I'm doing.
Damn.
For what I'm writing.
That strikes me as...
doing sounded a little...
That strikes me as odd. I mean, that sounds like a bad plant to me.
Yeah.
It
can. It doesn't always. Depends on the other plant. But it can, and that's what matters here.
Lex, another sprint outlining my book. Yay. Hopefully I can get to drafting soon. Okay, I'm trying to be patient with my pace and not too hard on myself. When I was pumping out 2,000 words a day, I got burned out. I totally hear you on that. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like a good approach. Good for you. Anne, who will be on this Friday's riddle stream? I don't know yet, Anne. Book Mouse, 347 words. This sprint. That's awesome. That's really good. Moving on. It would have been a lot smoother if there was another comma to actually move on to.
Moving on.
Well,
Silence.
Still moving on. I'm still moving on, Anne.
Waiting for the struggle bus to arrive.
As a matter of principle. That's how much we're moving on, Anne.
Oh, well.
Katrina, hi.
Now we've
How are
moved
you?
on.
Moving on, from this to this. Better, right? Oh, I see. Oh my. We have fun, don't we? Well, we've gotten through our double header at this point, and we've gotten in our sprints and everything. We've gotten through our comments also. I think we can call it a stream at that, huh? Like a double header stream. Don't you agree? I think you're kind of both too tired to even say anything, right?
Yeah.
It's time for bed.
Yeah. Cheering. Cheering for bed, huh?
Moving forward to bed.
Yeah. But again, my lovely co-hosts for the stream have been Glory and Tom and Zara and Portia and Alexandria. And I've got them all linked in the description box below. So yeah, for sure. What's this here? This is interesting here. Ooh. And go get some sleep, friends. Will do. Oh, Jordan. So sorry, zoned out. So sorry, zoned out a wee bit. I zoned out a little myself reading that. So I apologize. Anya, sleep well, everyone, and thanks for the stream. Yay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and call it a stream at that. Thanks, bundles and bunches. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.